This is the story of Ragnarok. An axe age and a sword age. Shields will be gashed. There will be a wind age and a wolf age before the world is wrecked. First of all, Midgard will be wrenched and racked by wars for 3 winters. Fathers will slaughter sons, brothers will be drenched in one another's blood. Mothers will desert their menfolk and seduce their own sons. Brothers will be in bed with sisters. Then Fimbulfdir, the winter of winters, will grip and throttle Midgard. Driving snow clouds will converge from north and south and east and west. There will be bitter frosts, biting winds. The shining sun will be helpless. 3 such winters will follow each other with no summers between them. So the end will begin. Then the children of the old giantess in iron wood will have their say. The wolf's skull will seize the sun between his jaws and swallow her. He will spatter Asgard with gore, and his brother Ati will catch the moon and mangle him. The stars will vanish from the sky. The earth will start to shudder then. Great trees will sway and topple, mountains will shake and rock and come crashing down, and every bond and fetter will burst. Fenrir will run free. Egther, watchman of the giants, will sit on his grave mound and strum his harp, smiling grimly. Nothing escapes the red-cock Fajalar. He will crow to the giants from birdwood. At the same time, the cuckoo wakes the warriors every day in Valhalla. Golden-combed Gullingambi will crow to the gods. A third cock, rust red, will raise the dead in hill. The sea will rear up and the waves will pummel the shore because Jormungand, the Midgard serpent, is twisting and writhing in fury, working his way onto dry land. And in those high seas of Naglfar will break loose a ship made from dead men's nails. The bows and the waist and the stern and the hold will be packed with giants, and him will stand at the helm, heading towards the plain Vigrid. Loki, too, free from his fetters, will take to the water. He will set sail towards Vigrid from the north, and his dead weight will be all the ghastly crew in Hel. Then the brothers Fenrir and Jormungand will move forward side by side, Fenrir's slavering mouth with gape wide open, so wide that his lower jaw scrapes against the ground and his upper jaw presses against the sky. It would gape still wider if there were more room. Flames will dance in Fenrir's eyes and leap from his nostrils, with each breath. Meanwhile, Jormungand will spew venom. All the earth and sky will be splashed and stained in his poison. The world will be in uproar, the air quaking with booms and blares and their echoes. Then the sons of Muspel will advance from the south and tear apart the sky itself as they too close in on Vigrid. Surt will lead them, his sword blazing like the sun itself. And as they cross the Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge will crack and break behind them. So all the giants and all the inmates of Hel, and Fenrir and Jormungand, and Surt and the blazing sons of Muspel will gather on Vigrid. They will all but fill that plain that stretches 120 leagues in every direction. The gods, meanwhile, will not be idle. Heimdall will leave his hall, Himmingborg, and raise the great horn Jarl to his mouth. He will sound such a blast that it will be heard throughout the 9 worlds. All the gods will wake and at once meet in council. Then Odin will mount to Sleipnir and gallop to Mimir's spring to take advice from Mimir there. Rugged Sel itself will moan, the ash that always was and waves over all that is. Its leaves will tremble, its limbs will shiver and shake, even as 2 humans take refuge deep within it. Everything in heaven and earth and hell will quiver. Then all the Aesir and the Einherdar in Valhalla will arm themselves. They will don their helmets and their coats of mail, grasp their swords and spears and shields. 800 fighting men will forge through each of the hall's 540 doors. That vast host will march towards Vigrid and Odin, will ride at the head, wearing a golden helmet and a shining corselet, brandishing Gungnir. Odin will make straight for the wolf Fenrir, and Thor, right beside him, will be unable to help because Jormungand will at once attack him. Freyr will fight the fire giant Surt, and when Surt whirls his flaming blade, Freyr will rue the day that he gave his own good sword to his servant Skirnir. It will be a long struggle, though, before Freyr succumbs. The hound Garm and Lalpir will leap at the throat of one-handed Tyr, and they will kill one another. The age-old enemies Loki and Heimdall will meet once more, and each will be the cause of each other's death. Thor, son of Earth, and gaping Jormungand have met before too. They are well matched, and Thygrid the god will kill the serpent, but he will only be able to stagger back 9 steps before he falls dead himself, poisoned by the venom of Jormungand spews over him. Odin and Fenrir were the first to engage, and the fight will be fearsome. In the end, though, the wolf will seize Allfather between his jaws and swallow him. That will be the death of Odin. At once his son Vidar will stride forward and press one foot on Fenrir's bottom jaw. The shoe he will wear then has been a long time in the making. It consists of old strips and bits of leather pared off the heels and toes of new shoes since time began. All the leftovers thrown away as gifts for the god. Then Vidar will take hold of Fenrir's other jaw and tear the wolf apart, so avenging his father. Then Surt will fling fire in every direction. Asgard and Midgard and Jotunheim and Niflheim will become furnaces, places of raging flame, swirling smoke, ashes, only ashes. The 9 worlds will burn and the gods will die. Ainihir will die. Men and women and children in Midgard will die. Elves and dwarves will die. Giants will die. Monsters and creatures of the underworld will die. Birds and animals will die. The sun will be dark and there will be no more stars in the sky. The earth will sink into the sea. The earth will rise again out of the water fair and green. The eagle will fly over cataracts, swoop into thunder and catch fish on the crags. Corn will ripen in fields that were never sown. Vidar and Vali will still be alive. They will survive the fire and flood and make their way back to Idavol, the shining plain where the palaces once stood. Modi and Magni, sons of Thor, will join them there, and they will inherit their father's hammer Mjolnir. And Balder and Hod will come back from the world of the dead, and it will not be long before they too tread the new green grass of Idavol. Honir will be there as well, and he will hold the wand, foretell what is to come. The sons of Vili and Ve will make up the new number, the gods in the heaven, home of the winds. They will sit down in sunlight and begin to talk, turn by turn. They will call up such memories that are known to them alone. They will talk over many things that happened in the past, and the evil of Jormungand and the wolf Fenrir. And then amongst the waving grass, they will find golden chessboards, treasures owned once by Aesir, and gaze at them in wonder. Many courts will rise once more, some good, some evil. The best place of all will be Gimli in heaven, a building fairer than the sun, roofed with gold. That is where all the rulers live, at peace with themselves and each other. Then there will be Brimir and Olgilnir, where the ground is always warm underfoot. There will be plenty of good drink for those who have taste for it. And there will be Sindri, a fine hall that stands in the dark mountains of Nidafol, made wholly of red gold. Good men will live in these places. But there will be another hall in Astron, the shore of corpses. That place is the underworld, will be as vile as its fast. All its doors will face north. Its walls and roof will be made of wattled snakes, their heads facing inward, blowing so much poison that it runs in rivers. Though through the hole, oath breakers and murderers and philanderers will wade through the rivers. Nidar too will outlive the fire and the flood under Yggdrasil. He will suck blood from the bodies of the dead. The 2 humans who hid themselves deep within Yggdrasil, some say Hodemimir's wood, will be called Leif and Leifrasir. Surt's fire will not scorch them. It will not even touch them, and their food will be the morning dew. Through the branches, through the leaves, they will see light come back. For before the sun is caught and eaten by the wolf's skull, she will give birth to a daughter no less fair than herself, who will follow the same sky path and light the world. Leith and Lithrasir will have children. Their children will bear children. There will be life and new life, life everywhere on earth. That was the end, and this is the beginning. And now, if you have anything more to ask, I can't think how you can manage it, for I've never heard anyone tell more of a story of the world. Make use of it with what you can. Snorri Sturluson, Prozetta.